Welcome everybody and Happy New Year. My name is Manny and we're here to celebrate 2023. We have special sneak peeks of future projects, a special thank you, and of course, your New Year's resolutions. So let's get this party started with some resolutions. Leah Birch says, I work towards a better life and balance focusing on my home and happiness just as much as I focus on my bakery and my job. Well, Leah, we wish you the best of luck with that. And I also forgot to mention that we have Nash Phoenix over there hosting the musical portion of our show. Let's say hello.
Happy New Year. I'm ready. I'm really playing with my mind.
We're going to be counting down to midnight. Kimmy says, for my family to be healthier. We all want to be healthy, so best of luck with that. Isaiah Reed says, I resolve to be more frugal so I can save more money, and I also want to volunteer my time for more social programs. Best of luck with that, Isaiah.
Hey, you're not gonna have a special without me!
Boney, really?
Yeah, that's right!
And now, we'll be right back after this.
All in.
Ice cream. Ooh.
All in.
Don't you just love playing submarine, Gary? Prepare to dive!
Oh, yeah. Is there something I can help you with? Oh, yeah.
Shut up, you dumbass. That would be cool.
All in.
Nash Phoenix is gonna play some guitar as he sings. I don't want this to air. Oh, God. This next resolution comes from Molly, and it reads, take more time to do things that make me happy. You know what? That's a really good resolution because we all deserve to do whatever makes us happy. And there's some thought that goes to that too, because we are with ourselves all the time. We know ourselves more than anybody. So if you ever just stop to think about that, it's kind of an out-of-body experience because we're with us the whole time, and why not try to do what we can to make us happy? This next one is from Laura, and it reads, lose weight is one of them. Trust me, we all want to lose some pounds. The best of luck to you, Laura. Now, we're going to be taking a sneak peek at some future projects that I'm working on. I have a Space Ghost Coast to Coast episode that I'm working on right now. It's in its really rough stages. I started doing the voices, and I did my best, but it's not fully done yet, so here's a clip of the work in progress.
How about this, Teddy? You give Daddy a raise. I've been on my knees all these years, and y'all kick my ass to the curb without even saying a thank you. Then I come every now and then and get excited for table scraps.
I've kept you around through thick and thin.
What?
I get free massages and some trim on the side. All because I'm Zorak.
I ain't complaining because...
Shut up!
Hey!
I've kept you if I've seen anything I didn't like.
Well, I can say my little show has been quite a success.
No, it isn't.
I walk around in my torn jeans and my dirty work boots. People just think, hey, I work for Turner. You know, at this point, Lazo doesn't even talk to me anymore.
I think I got enough money from my AARP if I live to 65.
I once spent $42.50 for a sandwich, and I'm like, plenty more where that came from.
We all nerd, don't we not? I had a bad ear appointment the other day. They sucked the part of my brain that does long division.
Don't give me any, I know if I screw it up. Shit. Right, Ron?
But I could be wrong if you want me to.
I thought y'all were ready. Ready means when I walk in, you're shooting. And besides, it took me an extra 10 minutes to find. Hey, come on.
Hey, Brack, that's an awful big box for your brain.
Maybe he just left it at home. Or in a jar above my fridge. I like to keep my brains there.
No, my brain is where it is. Where it always is. In my heart.
We'll be right back after this.
Oh shit, you got something good to say.
Here's another musical performance. Enjoy as Nash Phoenix plays guitar. As I was saying, next year is the 30th anniversary of Wienerville. Right now, I'm actually working on the script for the 30th anniversary special, and here's a clip.
So, you're looking, well...
Would you care to
guess.
tell people some of the process that went on to making this little part?
I don't think it will be interesting, but I'll try. You see this doofus who's talking to me right now? He would talk to me, and in other times, he would be reacting in front of a live audience. Unlike now, where it's all pretend.
Well, that's, it's gonna be a little better than that, I promise. Anyway, this has been a really terrific year for me personally. I've been on a few podcasts this year. First, in the beginning of the year, I was on the Big Orange Couch podcast, talking about the great third seasons. And next, I was on Cassandra Explains It All, talking about For Richer or For Poorer. And I was also on Notable Nostalgia, talking about Rocco's Modern Life, Sugar Frosted Frights. They even asked me to make a painting for a contest. That was a huge, huge honor. I was on the Splat Attack podcast with Mark Wiener and his son Max. It was a lot of fun, and here's a few clips.
And, you know, like you went out to meet him. Max and I are going to go to Manny's house. Wow.
You almost got a spit take.
That's awesome.
Do it. Manny, turn around. We're outside.
Hey!
Look at that.
North Carolina sauce.
You like it, the sauce? Huh?
I do. You like it, the juice, huh?
I love it, the sauce.
I like it, the juice. Oh, good old Rob Snyder.
You like it, the juice, huh?
Yeah, we're getting a call from the manager. He wants to know if you like the juice. I do. I like it, the juice. Question 3.
You like it, the slime, huh?
No, I like it, the gack.
You like it? Oh, I like it again.
We're never finishing this episode.
It was a pleasure being on, and hopefully next year brings so much more. Here's a resolution from Angela Marie. A 5K run every month, hopefully, and growing my shoe stuff to have a regular job once a month. Hey! Tony, you really want to read a resolution?
Please. This one's from Jennifer Lynn. I want to quit smoking and lose 60 pounds. Hey, best of luck with you. Look at me. I'm all bone!
In the year of 2022, there have been some great YouTubers. On the topic of YouTube, there's another YouTuber called Dancing with Ghosts, and he reviewed Kids Bop. It's a hilarious review. And if you haven't followed him, here's going to be a link in the description.
The amount of cringe
It's about friends
that I had to endure to make this video. I choose videos for my channel based on curiosity or things that I might find interesting. And as a kid growing up, I would always see these terminally corny ass commercials on TV for a new CD compilation. That compilation was called Kids Bop. And even now, I ask myself, 20 years later, why did these things ever need to exist? Well, tonight, we're going to hopefully get to the bottom of that. This is Dancing with Ghosts.
These are the songs kids are singing.
The first Kids Bop album dropped in 2001, and boy do I have that horrendous commercial indelibly burned into my brain tissue forever. Razor and Tie, the label that put out this ear cancer into the world, was mainly a label that released those songs of the 70s and hits of the 80s compilations. Label co-founders Cliff Chenfield and Craig Balsam created the Kids Bop series and were later quoted as saying, "When our data showed just how stupid Americans were, we knew Kids Bop would be a huge success." Okay, so maybe they didn't actually say that, but come on, they were totally thinking it. But they were right though. Since 2016, Kids Bop has sold more than 16 million albums, which proves how lazy and clueless parents truly are. Songs off Kids Bop albums have a fairly simple formula. Number 1, watered down instrumentals that sound like a bad cover band version of the real song. Number 2, the songs are mostly sung by kids with nasally prepubescent annoying voices. Because, you know, if I'm 8 years old, I'd much rather hear my fellow first graders yell the song at me in unison rather than the original singer who sang on the track. Some of these songs, however, are sung by adults. And I don't know what Craigslist ad they found these people from, but these performances are laughably god-awful. Number 3, oftentimes lyrics are changed if they are deemed inappropriate for a child's ears. These lyric changes are usually done in a way to ensure maximum cringiness.
Wait a minute, fill my cup, put some water in it.
Now, I just want to make sure you heard that right. He says, "Stop, wait a minute, fill my cup, put some water in it." Water. Now, of course, the original lyric being, "Stop, wait a minute, fill my cup, put some liquor in it." Now, of course, we shouldn't be advocating underage drinking, but come on, water? Water? Couldn't they have at least said, like, Kool-Aid or something? Speaking as a former kid right now, I was like a mini adult, okay? I already knew about all this shit. By the time kids get old enough to care about popular music, they're gonna want the real deal. This shit would have insulted my intelligence had my parents put this on, and it would have felt very patronizing. But anyway, that's the Kids Bop formula, and boy has it been a resounding success, much to my chagrin. Kids Bop has branched out into DVDs, music videos, and even world tours. But this is my question though, why does Kids Bop need to exist? Aren't you as a parent supposed to be monitoring everything that your child listens to? If you deem a song too inappropriate for your kid, just don't let them listen to the song. Don't give them some weird Kids Bop version where they slightly change the lyrics, but the context is kind of still there. And on the other hand, if there's nothing wrong with a particular mainstream song, just let them listen to the real version. I don't know why Taylor Swift needs to be sung in unison by a bunch of snot-nosed little kids. How does that add to the enjoyment factor of the song? I just really don't understand that factor of Kids Bop. When I was 8 years old, my dad put a pair of headphones on my ears, took the Sony Walkman, took Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here album and shoved the cassette into the Walkman, hit play, and what preceded was a brain orgasm of musical amazingness. I didn't even know this kind of sound existed. It was like magic. Hearing something that was real and substantive and was about like serious, subject matter and had atmosphere and David Gilmour's vocals and guitar tones. If my dad had shoved Kids Bop into that cassette player, you know what I would have done? I would have opened up the car door on the highway and I would have rolled out, because that's how much I would have not liked my dad anymore. You as parents have so much opportunity to instill your kids with like really good music tastes and influence like how they're going to be when they get older. And by you taking the lazy ass approach and shoving some Kids Bop in the car just to shut them up, shame on you. Your kids are your investment or something. But aside from parents just being lazy, another thing that has always bothered me about these Kids Bop compilations is just how exploitive they are. They're not making anything new. They're not making anything more valid. They're literally just repackaging something that 9 times out of 10 doesn't even need to be repackaged, and they're selling it to gullible people. And the poor artists, who most likely have no say in whether their song is allowed to be used on a Kids Bop compilation, has to stand by and watch their song be mangled in the worst kind of way. Because at the end of the day, it's the record labels who share in the lucrative spoils of publishing and album sales. I'm not the only one that finds fault with these cringy-ass Kids Bop compilations. In 2018, Vox wrote an article about how Kids Bop's censored songs aren't just annoying, they're problematic. The article basically goes on to say that though Kids Bop may be censoring quote-unquote bad words, they're not censoring content. Christopher Bell, associate professor of media studies at the University of Colorado, was quoted in the article saying, "I don't need a sanitized version of Despacito. I need 8-year-olds not to be singing Despacito, because that song is super dirty, and Kids Bop doesn't always make that distinction." The article also focuses on the overall culture of media gearing kids towards, quote, getting older younger, by having violent and sexual overtones in the music videos and songs. And even though the kids don't know the implications of these things, the adults who are masterminding all of this do. One final thing that I'll say about all this to just kind of wrap things up. One of my favorite artists growing up, and still is Weird Al Yankovic, the king of the song parody. When I was young, I grew up in a really conservative, like Southern Baptist household. My parents wouldn't let me obviously listen to the current rock or pop songs on the radio because there were swearing and all that kind of stuff. What they would do, though, is let me listen to Weird Al. Weird Al would take these songs, he would change the music, or change the lyrics rather. The music would stay pretty much the same. And, you know, he would do some funny take on it, and it'd be super clean and family friendly. And unlike Kids Bop, Weird Al's songs are actually witty and still hold up to this day, so I'm not ashamed to still listen to Weird Al. But what happened with Weird Al was this kind of backdoor effect that I don't think my parents were expecting. When I heard the music, I was like, wow, this song is like really cool, and I really like the music behind it. And I would read his album liner notes, which are pretty much a thing of the past now, but they used to be a thing when physical media existed. And in the liner notes, it would say, like, for instance, when he did his polka like collages or you know, where he puts together a bunch of songs, it would say Bullet with Butterfly Wings, originally performed by the Smashing Pumpkins. Hurt, originally performed by Nine Inch Nails. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna look up this Smashing Pumpkins band. And I did, and they swore a lot, and they said things like, God is empty just like me. But you know what? The music sounded even cooler when I heard the Smashing Pumpkins do it. And that made me a lifelong Smashing Pumpkins fan. My point is that if you think you're saving your kids from listening to dirty music, you're really just whetting their appetite to listen to the real thing. As soon as you're not around and they get around their friends or their friends' parents leave the house, the first thing they're going to want to do is look up that sexy Bruno Mars video with all those half-naked chicks. Or they're going to want to hear the real version of the rap song where they actually say fuck instead of water. So, point being, you're not doing anything. You're not sparing your kids. You're not saving them from becoming little degenerates, because if the will is in them and the curiosity is in them, they will find a way to go behind your back and do that shit anyway. That's my 2 cents on it. I hope you enjoyed this video about Kids Bop. I seriously hated doing the research for this video more than I hated doing research for almost any other video I've done, because I actually had to listen to a lot of Kids Bop songs, which probably put me on some kind of list.
This is going to be Dylan the Night Owl. He reviewed the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. And followed up is my reactions and my input on what he has to say about the movie.
Hey everybody, I separated this portion of the video into its own video, so there'll be a link in the description or on this video.
Well, it looks like it's time for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Here is Mark Wiener and the Wienerville Gang and a couple of Nickelodeon special guests to sing All Lang Slime.
For all the stuff you should have done, erase it from your mind. 'Cause now you got a brand new year that's full of all lang slime. So live it up and make it. It's celebration time. Another year to be a kid. Another slime. Happy New Year!
Should all acquaintance be forgot and blah 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 this stupid song. Now get out of here!
Well, folks, that's it for our special.
Hey, Happy New Year, everyone! Now get out of here!
Hope you guys had a really great time watching this, and happy 2023, everybody.
Thank you.
And this is Trainwreck.